Good morning, how are you feeling today? Oh, a little bit groggy? Can't remember who or where you are? Well, I guess that's to be expected. So anyway, Morgan, this is your apartment and... Oh, okay, you just want to neck this bottle of wine and stagger around, I see. Okay, well, that's how you're going to play Prey, is it? Fair enough. Yep, this is the very opening to Prey, with Morgan you waking up from his or her slumber in his or her apartment, and in my case, getting her day off to the very best of starts. Now, don't worry, I'm going to skip past all of the major spoilers and reveals from the opening hour, which we played the other day, but it shouldn't come as any surprise that Morgan's apartment is not where most of this game takes place. In fact, it's really not very long before you find yourself on the Talos 1 space station, with basically everything possible having gone wrong. You see, Morgan is at the heart of Transstar's experiments into Neuro Mods and the Typhon aliens. It's apparently something of a huge family tradition to put yourself into the line of fire in that regard. It's just that after years of kind of stability, things go a little bit off-piste. They have admittedly been struggling in their experiments to merge humans with the abilities of the shadowy Typhon aliens, such as being able to turn yourself into various other inanimate objects. The tests aren't going well, and the neuromods have to be removed for Morgan's safety, but alas, every time that they do this, they also rip out all of her memories at the same time. Turns out the brains are pretty tricky things to mess around with. Getting out into the main space station, there's definitely a bit of a Bioshock vibe to everything that you see, right down to the Art Deco stylings and the architecture. It's not like the corroded and lived-in world of Rapture, but Talos 1 is definitely getting there as things have been kicking off. I'd say it's definitely got more of a futurist vibe to things, and it's a bit more inviting and less foreboding. Or, it would be if there were actually any other people in sight. That's another parallel to Bioshock, with just a couple of other characters talking to you by calling you up on the phone, but no other signs of life. You do get to take a glimpse into the lives of others though by checking out the computers and the messages that have been flying back and forth, and just seeing how the environment has been left as a crisis has struck. Then there's the neuromods themselves, which are pretty similar to Adam, right down to the way that you inject them into yourself, and yeah, they'll have the squeamish out there tensing up and looking away from the screen. Neuromods, however, are a little more general purpose than Adam is. Instead of just bestowing you with specific powers, they're more like upgrades and general levelling up. So you can earn the ability to repair things like grav shafts and fabricators in the world, increase your health, and so on. Of course, what we know about the game from previous reveals and trailers means that, yes, the neuromods also include being able to gain the various abilities from the aliens, such as being able to turn yourself into a nice mug. And speaking of mugs, this is one of those little tickles of dark humour behind the game's design. See, the shadowy spider-like mimics that are the first Typhon that you encounter can change form and disguise themselves as other things. Unless they really want to attack you, opening a door into a locked room will see half the stuff in the room basically just jump up and fall over. It's a moment that's reminiscent of so many little fantasy films where little mythical creatures hide themselves and the dullard, lumbering humans pause for a moment as they wonder what on earth just happened. Shouldn't that bottle be on the table? That kind of thing. Except you're not on Earth, you're in space, and these are shape-shifting little gits that you're really hard to hit. To start with, all that you have to fight them with is a pretty handy wrench, but even as you go into a room and you spot what things have changed and what things you think have fallen over, as soon as you get close they will jump back into mimic form and start to attack you, or just skitter away across the room. Landing a blow can be pretty tricky with such flighty enemies, but the glue gun follows, allowing you to gradually slow and freeze them in place before then giving them a good thwack with the wrench while they're defenceless. Oh, and also tucked away in the corner of an office somewhere, there's a Bethesda home brand Nerf crossbow, perfect for annoying your colleagues from across the room. Oh wait, I said they were all probably dead, didn't I? Well, I'm sure that you can just play with the Typhon instead, maybe. Two key types of machines can also be found in various parts of the station, the recycler and the fabricator. Simply throwing any old rubbish into the recycler, whether it's frayed copper wire, bits of broken circuit board, or chunks of dead Typhon, it will then reduce these down to their essential building blocks for the fabricator to use. Here you can then use any of the blueprints that you own to create new weapons, ammunition, and so on. I didn't have the right materials for new shotgun shells, so I had to settle on making a second wrench, which I then replaced my old wrench with for a newer and actually completely identical model. I'm sure that the playfulness will kind of recede as more bigger and more menacing enemies start to show up, although I did have one little encounter which was pretty nerve-wracking in that regard. But that playfulness is what helped Prey to stand out for me. Arkane have definitely gone into this game and given it its own identity, and it's certainly completely different in tone to the 2006 original. So yes, it might be easy for me to point to things and say that's like Bioshock, but in this case I see that as mimicry being the sincerest form of flattery. I absolutely enjoyed playing the opening hour of this on its own merits, and I really can't wait to see what Arkane are trying to do in the rest of the game as well. To be honest, I'm really just gutted that I didn't get to turn myself into a cup, but you know, I got to smash plenty of them, so I guess that's okay. If you want to see more about Prey, we have a written preview from the same hands-on session over on the6axis.com, and we'll hopefully have more content on this game in the run-up to its release, which is not that far away actually, it's in May. In the meantime, do like this video, subscribe, and feel free to browse the rest of our channel or even visit our website. So until next time, goodbye!